You see it happen all the time. An older man walks into a room with a beautiful, much younger woman on his arm. On the surface, he looks like he has won the game. He has the resources, he has the status, and he has secured the youth and beauty that society idolizes. But if you look closely at her body language, her eyes, and the subtle tension in her jaw, you will see a completely different story. The brutal reality of female psychology is that while a younger woman might be attracted to the stability and power of an older man, she is hyper-vigilant to his insecurities. The average older man completely misreads this dynamic. He thinks his age automatically grants him respect. He thinks his money buys her loyalty. But behind closed doors, he is making catastrophic behavioral mistakes that are slowly killing her attraction. She will never tell him to his face. She will just smile, enjoy the lifestyle, and silently lose every ounce of respect she ever had for him. Today, I am going to expose the 7 hidden mistakes older men make that make younger women secretly cringe. These are the subtle habits that completely destroy your masculine frame. And you must pay absolute attention to the 7th mistake. It is the ultimate psychological trap. It is a behavior so common, yet so destructive, that the moment you do it, she will instantly demote you from a high-value man to a weak, insecure placeholder. If you are an older man navigating the modern dating world, or a young man preparing to build his future empire, you need to understand exactly how the female mind processes age, power, and vulnerability. Let us dismantle the illusions. The first catastrophic mistake is falling into the mentor trap. When an older man dates a younger woman, he naturally has more life experience. He has made the mistakes, built the career, and learned the hard lessons. But the insecure man uses this experience as a weapon to maintain control. He constantly gives her unsolicited advice. He corrects her decisions. He talks down to her as if she is a child who needs his guidance to survive the world. He thinks he is demonstrating value, but what he is actually doing is completely destroying the romantic and sexual polarity between them. A high-quality woman does not want to sleep with her father figure. She does not want a professor. She wants a lover. She wants a masculine force. When you constantly act like her teacher, her nervous system categorizes you as a guardian, not a partner. The Stoic man understands the difference between leading and lecturing. He leads by example. He offers his wisdom only when it is explicitly asked for. He allows her to make her own mistakes and respects her autonomy. He maintains the mysterious, grounded presence of a man who is secure in his knowledge, without needing to constantly prove it. This leads directly into the second mistake, which is the exact opposite problem. It is the desperate attempt to mirror her youth. There is nothing more pathetic to a younger woman than an older man who is terrified of his own age. You see this when a man suddenly changes his wardrobe to match the latest trends of 20-year-olds. He starts using modern slang that sounds completely unnatural coming from his mouth. He tries to match her high-energy, chaotic social life, pretending he wants to go to crowded clubs when he would rather be in a quiet lounge. He thinks he is showing her that he can keep up. But her biological radar instantly detects the fraud. She sees a man who is deeply uncomfortable in his own skin. She sees a man who believes his true self is not good enough for her. A king never alters his armor to fit in with the peasants. A high-value man wears his age as a badge of honor. He leans into his maturity. He dresses with classic, timeless masculinity. He does not adopt her language or her lifestyle. He invites her into his sophisticated, grounded reality. When you unapologetically own your age, you command a level of respect that a younger, chaotic man can never achieve. The third mistake is leading with resources instead of frame. It is a harsh truth of the world that older men often use their financial stability to attract younger women. But the weak man relies entirely on his wallet to keep her around. He buys her expensive gifts after every minor argument. He funds her entire lifestyle, but he demands absolutely no respect or behavioral standards in return. He thinks that as long as he is paying the bills, she has to love him. But female psychology does not work like a transaction. If you lead with your money, she will treat you exactly like an ATM. She will extract your resources while giving her genuine, burning desire to a man who commands her respect with his presence, not his credit card. The Stoic man may provide, but his provision comes with absolute boundaries. He demands loyalty, respect, and peace. If she disrupts his peace or disrespects his frame, the resources are instantly cut off. He knows that his true value is not in what he can buy her, but in the unshakable masculine gravity he brings to her life. If you are beginning to realize how many of these hidden traps exist in the dynamic between men and women, and you are ready to forge a mind of absolute iron, take a moment right now to subscribe to the Stoic Flame. We are an elite brotherhood of men who refuse to buy love, who refuse to fake our reality, and who lead our lives with quiet, terrifying authority. Join the fire, and let us break down the fourth habit that makes her secretly cringe. The fourth mistake is apologizing for your age. This happens through constant self-deprecating humor. The man will constantly make jokes about being an old man, or point out the generational gap, or ask her if she is embarrassed to be seen with him. He thinks he is being humble or self-aware. But what he is actually doing is projecting his own deep-seated insecurities onto her. He is constantly reminding her of the age gap, forcing her to reassure him. Every time you ask a woman to validate your insecurities, you chip away at your masculine frame. You are forcing her into the masculine role of providing emotional security. A high-quality woman wants to lean on your strength. She does not want to constantly prop up your fragile ego. If you chose to date a younger woman, and she chose to be with you, the age gap is an accepted reality. Stop bringing it up. Stop making excuses for it. Own your reality with absolute silence and unbothered confidence. The fifth habit that destroys attraction is the jealousy of her youthful world. A younger woman naturally has a different social life. She has younger friends, male peers her own age, and a different level of societal attention. The insecure older man looks at her young male friends and feels a surge of primal panic. He becomes controlling. He interrogates her about who she is texting. He makes passive-aggressive comments about the guys her age. He tries to isolate her because he is terrified that a younger, more energetic man will steal her away. This behavior reeks of scarcity and fear. It tells her that you secretly believe you cannot compete. The Stoic man operates from a position of absolute abundance. He looks at the younger men in her orbit and feels absolutely nothing. He knows that those boys cannot offer the grounded stability, the emotional discipline, and the heavy masculine presence that he possesses. He gives her complete freedom, knowing that if she chooses to entertain a boy, she is no longer worthy of a king. He never competes, because he knows he is in a completely different league. The sixth mistake is forcing deep commitment too early due to a shifting timeline. As an older man, your biological and life timeline is different from hers. You might be ready to settle down, find peace, and lock in a permanent partner. But she is still in the exploratory phase of her life. The weak man feels his clock ticking and tries to force her into a serious commitment, marriage, or starting a family before she is psychologically ready. He uses guilt or emotional manipulation to speed up her timeline. This creates a massive, suffocating pressure. A woman's desire cannot grow in a cage. If she feels like you are trapping her to serve your own life schedule, she will instantly pull away. The high-value man understands the concept of seasons. He enjoys her presence in the current season without desperately trying to control the next one. He creates an environment so secure and so deeply fulfilling that she naturally wants to stay, without him ever having to lock the door. And now we arrive at the seventh and final mistake. This is the ultimate destroyer of attraction. It is the silent killer that ruins more relationships than anything else. It is seeking her validation for your masculinity. Many older men subconsciously pursue younger women not because they want a partner, but because they want a mirror. They want the young, beautiful woman to reflect back to them that they are still potent, still powerful, and still relevant. They need her youth to validate their worth. This is a catastrophic psychological error. If you need her to make you feel like a man, she holds all the power. Your entire emotional state becomes dependent on her mood, her attention, and her physical affection. She will feel this heavy, parasitic energy. She will feel that you are extracting your life force from her youth. And it will absolutely disgust her. A true Stoic derives his power entirely from within. His masculinity is forged in the fires of his own discipline, his own purpose, and his own achievements. He does not need a younger woman to validate his existence. He brings a younger woman into his life to share the incredible reality he has already built. When you stop needing her validation, when you stop trying to act young, and when you simply stand as a heavy, immovable mountain in the chaotic landscape of her life, you become something she desperately craves. You become the ultimate anchor. Stop playing the games of boys. Stop trying to buy respect. Stop apologizing for the gray in your hair and the years on your soul. Your age is your greatest asset, but only if you have the emotional discipline to back it up. A woman will never respect a man who does not fully respect himself. Thank you for dedicating your time and your absolute focus to this message today. If this script gave you the clarity to eliminate these destructive habits and step into your true masculine power, leave a comment down below. Tell the Brotherhood about a time you held your frame and refused to compromise your reality. Your victories forged the unbreakable strength of this community. Make sure you hit that like button to support the channel, and if you have not already done so, subscribe to the Stoic Flame. Keep your mind completely quiet, own your timeline, and remember that true power is never borrowed. It is built. We will see you in the next one.